Alright, time for another installment of Technique with Thompson. If you notice right here, you'll see that we just talked about the grip of the stick on our previous episode. Now we're going to talk about how to actually take the stick and place it in the correct position above your drum or other surface that you're playing on. So first off, you check and make sure that your fingers are wrapped around the stick. They're going diagonally across the palm of your hand. Your thumb is on the stick. The center of the thumb is on the center of the stick. There's no gap between your thumb and pointer finger, and the thumb and pointer finger are the same height along the stick while you're playing. So once you've done that, you've checked your grip. What you want to do is you want to make sure that you have a good posture, so you're making it where your spine is straight up and down, and then you basically just bend your elbows and not anything else to bring the sticks up. You don't want to raise your shoulders or lower them, and you don't want to bring your elbows out, but you just want to bend your elbows and leave them where they are next to your body, relaxed. The next couple of details are there shouldn't be a kink in your wrist up or down, but it should be straight. And the sticks should form a slight downward angle towards the drum head. And if your surface is at the correct height, that'll just happen naturally. Now right here, as you can see, I'm not playing on a actual drum stand. I'm just playing on something that I had laying around the house. That's probably going to be true for a lot of you. So it might be difficult for you to have your surface set at the perfect height. And it might also be difficult for you to sit in a way where you have the perfect posture. So just do the best that you can given your circumstances. Now, all that being said, I'm going to try my best to have it where the surface is at the right height. But the ideal situation would be if I notice that I am unable to have a slight downward angle towards the drum, all the way from the elbow, through the wrist and hand, through to the tip of the stick. If I'm unable to have that slight downward angle without changing something here or here, then I need to change the height of my drum rather than adjusting my body. But luckily, I'm pretty close. I would actually want this surface to be ever so slightly lower for where I'm at, but this is close right now, so I'm okay. Now, another detail that you're going to want to think about when you bring your sticks up is you want your beads to be as close together as possible without touching. A lot of times, sixth graders and other beginning students will actually try to make it where their beads touch each other, but that's impossible to really do, and it doesn't make sense when you're drumming, and it actually causes you to have a little bit of tension in your hands. So just get them as close as you can without squeezing and over controlling the stick, but just get them near to each other. Whatever you can do, the longer you've been drumming, the easier it is to get them close together. So you'll get them as close as you can. You want to make sure that you're in the center of the drum. So here's my drum. Obviously I've been using this pad for many years, but whatever you have at home, that's going to work. You don't want to be off to the side, front, or back, but dead center. And I would practice that even if you're playing on an instrument that you don't want to play in the center. When you're practicing at home, play in the dead center. So timpani, you play near the edge. Quads, you play near the edge. But irregardless, practicing the control of being able to play in the dead center will help you to play in any zone depending on the instrument that you're on. Now, two more details that you need to make sure that you're thinking about when you're trying to bring your sticks up to the perfect playing position. You want to make sure that your sticks are the correct angle with respect to each other. So something that I always tell my beginning students is that you want to think of it like a good slice of pizza. So if you're thinking Brooklyn style, which is delicious by the way, you should try it, it's about a sixth. So here's half, and then you go a third, and this is about a third of half, so it's about a sixth. That's a good slice of pizza right there, if I say so myself. The other thing you want to think about is your hand angle. Remember in previous videos we talked about the French grip versus the German grip, where your hand is totally flat. if you did your wrist builder training like we previously discussed, then that motion that you worked on is exactly the ideal motion when you have totally flat hands. I do want to point out one more little detail that's kind of interesting that is just a result of having the good slice of pizza and having your elbows relaxed and near your body. Notice I'm not squeezing them against my body, but I'm not using my shoulder muscles to bring them out. They're just hanging by my side. If I do both of those things, it actually results in my elbow being in and my wrist being out. So you can see that my wrist is farther away from my center than my elbows are. So I'm not in, and I'm not even directly in front. I'm actually out a little. That lets me have a better slice of pizza. It allows my grip to be more naturally German. French grip is more comfortable when your wrists are in. German grip is more comfortable when your wrists are out. So those are some little resultant details. If you're doing all these other things that I'm talking about, that's just naturally going to happen to you when you're playing. All right, so there's your grip, and pretty soon we'll be into the next step,